Today, we'll be looking at the AITA subreddit. AITA for laughing when my son came home from meeting his girlfriend's parents because he chose to behave like he does at home. My son burps a lot while eating. I have tried telling him multiple times that it is rude. I have told him to slow down so he doesn't swallow air with his food. I've told him that it is disgusting. My wife will instantly jump in to defend him. She will say that that's just the way he is and that's not his fault. The thing is, he can control himself when I remind him. He just chooses not to. He just went on a date with his girlfriend last night, and she tore him a new one. It was his first time meeting her parents since they live in another city. They went out to a fancy restaurant, and he burped all the way through supper. He came home almost in tears from her chewing him out for behaving like a idiot in front of her family. I heard him telling my wife about it, and I laughed. She asked, "What's so funny?" And I reminded them both that I had tried dozens, if not hundreds of times to teach him table manners, and he rejected them, and she protected him. I said that now he is a grown man, and he had to learn the hard way. They both think that she overreacted, and that I'm the a-hole for being amused by his experience. Okay, that's actually hilarious. AITA for opening a box of cupcakes and eating one. I get home from work and notice my wife has been to the grocery store. I open the cupboard and notice a box of 12 cupcakes she had put away in the pantry. I help myself to one. Wife walks in the kitchen while I'm mid-bite and yells, "What are you doing? That's for the party." "What party? I didn't know about a party." Turns out our nanny's kids had a birthday party on Sunday, and they were for that. She continues to berate me. I refuse to back down. There was no note on them. We have young kids, so it's not unheard of that we have sweets in the house. She says since 12 assorted color cupcakes are something she never buys and keeps in the house, that I should have known not to break the seal. What do you think? I think maybe they should just go get more cupcakes if it's such a big deal. I don't know. I could see how it could be frustrating for both sides, but whatever. It's just cupcakes. AITA for feeding a guest out of bowls my dog uses. I have one large dog at home. I don't have a dog food bowl, as in a dedicated bowl that my dog eats out of. She has a water bowl that's just for her, but not a dedicated food bowl. My dog eats fresh food, so every day I prepare my dog's food using my usual kitchen utensils and gear, put the food in one of my normal bowls, and then give it to my dog. Pretty spoiled dog there, oh my gosh. Once she's finished eating, I take the bowl away and put it in the dishwasher to be cleaned. I feel like it's just more hygienic this way, since she has a clean bowl for every single meal. True. Plus, it's easier for me since I can just dump it in the dishwasher. Recently, I had a house guest over for a meal, let's call him Mark, and everything was going okay until he found out that my dog eats out of the same tableware as the humans do. He was already really put off that I let my dog onto my furniture, but after hearing this, he freaked out yelling at me how I was disgusting and how I should have warned him before so that he could have just not eaten anything. He ranted about how I live in filth and how I'm putting him on the level of a dog. He thinks it's unhygienic that I don't have a dedicated dog food bowl and utensils for my dog to use. Just imagining a dog using a fork and knife eating a steak. Okay, how's that unhygienic? That feels more hygienic to me. I don't think it's an issue. I have a maid come in every single day to clean. Oh, wow, you got a maid? Oh my gosh, well. Kind of weird, but okay. I like keeping my house clean. Even my dog gets wiped every time she comes in for a walk, so she's clean too. Oh, so it turns out they're a germ freak and they're still getting berated for this. Oh my gosh. Plus, I feel like after the dishes go through the dishwasher, it's clean, so it wouldn't matter who used it. True. It's not like I use the utensils to prepare my dog's food and then immediately use the same one for humans, or that I reuse the bowl my dog uses without washing it. AITA for not telling my guests that my dog eats out of the same bowl as he does. Okay, the majority voted a-hole for this, but that is super strange because that's not weird at all. That's just... it's literally more hygienic for everyone involved. It's just weird. I mean, he's a weird germ freak and he does have a maid, which is kind of odd, but whatever. I vote not the a-hole. AITA for calling my boyfriend names and ignoring his calls after he ate my leftovers. I woke up today to find that my boyfriend had eaten my leftover cheesy garlic bread. Cheesy garlic bread that I was saving to eat for lunch today, without asking. I had a horrible day yesterday. Same. I'm hungover today. I'm on my period and I haven't had much of an appetite. It was kind of all that I wanted to eat. I texted him after he left for work and I realized and called him oh my gosh, she called him a lot of bad words. Don't want YouTube to suppress this video. We're not saying any of that. Anyway, she called him a lot of bad stuff. And he said he's sorry and that he meant to tell me and he'd send me some more over. But the place I got them from is half-hour away and doesn't deliver, and their cheesy bread is my favorite. So it's not really replaceable today. Picky much? Oh my gosh. He tried calling a couple times and I ignored his calls. I know it's not that big of a deal and that my anger was disproportionate, but he knows how hard of a time I'm having and that something this small could easily ruin my day right now. It just felt unnecessarily inconsiderate and mean given the circumstances. I've spent the last few hours trying to calm down and I'm feeling a lot better, and I texted him to let him know that I'm ready to forgive him, but he's not responding. So am I the a-hole for calling him names and ignoring his calls after he ate my food without asking? Okay, thoughts. So I've never had a period and never will, so I can't say anything on that front. And from what I know, it's definitely a very difficult thing to have to go through. And I do not understand it, but you should not call your partner names like that. It's really not a healthy thing to do. And yeah, he shouldn't have eaten your bread, but saying it's not replaceable today and freaking out, that, I don't know. It's hard. I think both people made mistakes. I think that the a-hole move here was the reaction. And it's like understandable he doesn't want to talk right now, but also like he should probably talk to her about it. But also it's like I'm ready to forgive him. It's like, my gosh, this is a little dramatic. I don't know. I think it's just a situation that sucks and just got to get through it. So I don't know. AITA for telling my significant other to not smoke while pregnant. I'm not even going to read this one. Obviously not. That's ridiculous. Oh boy, we got a long one. AITA for refusing to let my wife name our kid something stupid. Me, 25 male, and my wife, 23 female, are having our first child together. She is currently 9 months pregnant and could give birth anytime in the next couple of weeks. The only major fight we have had throughout her pregnancy happened a couple days ago, and it was about what we were going to name our kid. It all started when we found out the gender of the baby. We didn't do a gender reveal, good for you, and decided to find out the gender at one of her checkups because we didn't want to spend any time making 2 lists of names and then have to get rid of one after. I mean, it's not that hard. I don't know. I don't have kids. So after we found out we were having a boy, we sat down together and made a list. Almost all of the names she suggested were normal until the one that caused me to write this post. She suggested we name our son Mune. She told me that the name was from this movie she watched when she was younger and that it always stuck with her. I told her the name was a little bit out there, true, and that he would get made fun of for it. I mean, probably. She claimed he wouldn't, and we started going back and forth trying to decide whether to add the name to the list or not. Eventually, she agreed to keep the name off the list. We picked some that we liked, and I thought that was that. Later on in her pregnancy, her mom decided to throw a baby shower, as it was her first grandchild, and my wife's pregnancy was almost over, and we hadn't celebrated one. It was fine for the most part until we started to open the gifts. Most of them were normal baby things, like diapers and bottles, until we got to her mom's gift. My wife opened the gift bag and pulled out a blue handmade blanket. It seemed normal enough until my wife unfolded it, and lo and behold, there was the name Mune written on the blanket. Sounds like she's already decided. When I saw that, I was angry and didn't want to cause a scene, so I stayed quiet. After that reveal, I had family members come up to me and ask me about the name and why I hadn't told them. I didn't know what to tell them, as I didn't have a clue about this either, and just had to embarrassingly tell my family that, which made me even more angry. Once the event ended, me and my wife got home and I started to question her about the name. She got defensive and told me that it was a good name and that I was overreacting about it. I brought up the earlier points I made and told her it was a stupid name for a kid, and if she wanted to name something Mune so bad, she could use that name for a dog. Okay. Lesson 101 on how to make your wife mad. Oh my gosh. She got upset and called her mom to come get her. After she left, she called me and told me she wouldn't be coming back for a while. Oh dear. Everyone I've talked to about this said that I'm not the a-hole, but now my wife has been gone and I've been thinking about it and I feel like I could have handled the situation better. AITA. Okay. You shouldn't have said the thing about the dog. That was a little bit out of pocket, and yeah, she's gonna be mad about that. But she went behind your back on a name that you vetoed. When you're a couple and you're having a baby, both parties need to agree on the name. And if one of you says no, then you have to go find another one because it's a joint decision. Everyone in the comments of this post said about the same thing. So yeah, they're not the a-hole, but they shouldn't have said the thing about the dog, and they should have just told her about, hey, this is a joint decision. We need to be making this together, and I feel sad that you went behind my back and told your mom that's what we were naming the kid, and then you basically have married yourself to this name. And so, yeah, they need to just compromise and work together. And also, Mune is a weird name, and unfortunately, kids just suck, and they're going to make fun of them for it because it's not something like Steve or some name that's used as a normal name somewhere in the world. So, biggest thing is that she went behind his back and picked a name without him also wanting the name, and they need to make this decision together. Can I be more clear? Anyway, that's all I got for you today, so I don't know, subscribe or don't, I don't care.